Hello, welcome to the session of Wise Counsel with Comfort. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you are watching from. Welcome once again. Our discussion this time around is something maybe many of us do not experience it, but something I feel we can discuss. It is about family battles. Family battles, or what I call home battles, which I say choose wisely the battles to fight in the home. Have you ever seen a family that is constantly fighting or quarreling around your neighborhood or community? If you have not seen such, I want to wish you the very best never to see it. But if you are accustomed to where husband and wife are constantly fighting over some unnecessary things I can term unnecessary, you will agree with me that it is something worth discussing. Once that family is embroiled in that fight, neighbors or the community around usually rush in to settle the issues for them. At times, the family becomes a laughing stock or ridiculed by their neighbors. Or in most cases, they become what in today's parlance I can call breaking news. They have started again. That will be what some members of the community will say. And when you come into these things, you discover that some of these things are not really worth fighting for. Therefore, that's why I want us to choose wisely some battles we fight in the home. It is true that in most cases, some of these battles revolve around finance, poor communication, or whatever you want to call it. But there is one thing I have always maintained, and that is, as much as possible, find a way to avoid that battle if you can. Find a way round about that issue. Take, for example, if it is finance, I have always advised people, instead of fighting every second about money, why not you, man or woman, look for a way out of the situation than being an object of ridicule around your community? What am I saying? You can look for ways of making passive income to augment what you make, maybe bi-weekly or monthly. It is true the society is hard. It is true times are very, very tough. You can look for something to add to whatever you are making. Don't feel too big to do anything to earn passive income. I am a retired nurse somehow, but where I am living, I discovered that I don't do anything. I just sit down and do this and do that. I decided one day, I need to do something about this situation. I called somebody and said, can you help me with so and so thing? And the person helped me out. And today, I can proudly say I am a fish farmer in a way, in my little way. So what am I trying to say? Don't feel too big to do anything that can add something to whatever you're making. It is true that if I decide not to go into it, thank God my husband, my family can somehow keep me going. But no, laziness is not the best way out of it. Rather struggle, look for a way to augment. You discover by the time you bring one, or she brings and you bring, it will make up and the fight will end. That is what I mean by looking for a way around it. If, for example, it is poor communication or so, and argument ensues, what do you do? My counsel is, in every argument, you mustn't be the one to win it. Let there be compromise. You mustn't be the one every time you are quarreling with your wife or your husband, you must insist on winning the argument. Let there be a compromise. And I always tell people, you see this word, S-O-R-R-Y, sorry. That can disarm the strongest lion ever. If you acknowledge your mistake or your fault, why not say, I am sorry? It ends the fight. So choose wisely. Instead of fighting, instead of elongating the argument, the word, I am sorry, settles it. Let it be a way out of fighting that battle. Now, if it involves any other thing, let me give you an example. I have this friend that suppressed an unpleasant situation in her family for such a long time. One day she opened up to me and told me all that it entailed. How she and her children will always be sidelined during festivities, yet her husband was the sole financier of everything used for that festival or that feast. My counsel was, can you do this for me? She said, yes, I can. Then I advised her, before you people travel for such things, can you do one or two things like this? And she said, yes, she could do that. At the end of the day, she did. And that was the end of that battle. She never complained about it. She never talked about it. Whether she was sidelined with her children, she didn't care, because she had a plan B. So please, always have a plan B around the battle you want to fight. I am not condoning staying where you are not safe. No, far from it. Your safety is paramount. If you are not safe, I'm not advising you stay and be killed. No. But what I'm saying is, there are wise ways we can fight some battles, and neighbors will not be shaking their head whenever they see us. So please, choose your battles wisely. And don't let what people say, that look at what she's doing, look at what he is doing. No. What matters is your peace. Do you know that the price you pay for maintaining peace in your home, you can't quantify it? If you are like me, that cannot even sleep without maintaining my sanity and peace, I mean, nothing is too much to be paid for your peace and the harmony in your home. So my candid advice this time around is, always look for a way out of that stressor. That thing that stresses you, that thing that wants to make you fight every minute, every day. Look for a way around it. Life is so short, so brief. Why must we be involved in fighting, in quarreling, in scolding one another? instead of maintaining peace in the home. Woman, I want to tell you that if you are a Christian, let me say, and you read the Bible, you remember the case of the wise Abigail in the Bible. She was married to a very wicked man, Nabal. And when David wanted to, fight Nabal and annihilate his family, the wise Abigail did something that saved her life of her children and her husband. So what am I trying to say? Be that wise Abigail. Be that woman that not only ends up in the other room. Be that woman that is social and spiritual antenna for your husband. You will discover that there will be peace in the home. I am a woman. I tend to say that most stressful situations, most battles are fought by women in the home. But with God's grace and wisdom, we can choose the ones to ignore and allow to slide by. And then the ones that must be confronted, we have to confront it. And to you, the man, let not ego hold you in your home that will always cause that woman to nag or to fight or to quarrel. Endeavor to be a lion outside, but be a lamb in the house, to maintain peace, unity, and harmony in your home. So may God help each and every one of us to know that because of the brevity of life, because it is too short, let us not spend our whole time fighting, quarreling, but choose wisely the battles to fight. May the Lord help us in Jesus' name. Thank you for the few minutes. Have a wonderful time. Bye.